Hey cosplayers, we're going to talk about 5 ways to avoid cosplay burnout. Alright, make sure to stay tuned to the end because I've got a couple practical ways of avoiding cosplay burnout, but at the end I've got quite an unusual way that you'll want to hear that I don't think anyone else is talking about. Alright, if you're needing this video because you're suffering from cosplay burnout right now, or you have in the past, go ahead and type fire, fire, fire in the comments below. Alright, go ahead and type that right now. And with that, let's go ahead and jump in. While you're down there typing in that comment, on your way back up, hit that subscribe button and that bell notification and select all so you get notified of all of these quick tip clip cosplay videos that we come out with every weekday so you can stay on top of your game and cosplay like a boss. Alright, so I've got 3 ways to start with that you can use to try to avoid cosplay burnout to begin with. And then we've got 2 other ways that you can use if you're in the middle of cosplay burnout and are trying to get out of it. And the last one is pretty unusual, I'd probably say, especially for anything else I've heard people talk about ways to be able to do it. So to start off with, the number 1 is one thing. Okay, focus on one thing at a time. We as humans are physically impossible of actually multitasking. So what I recommend is using the forge method. That's what I use when I do all of my builds, and what that is essentially is you pick one piece of the cosplay, right? Let's say for Hiccup, I'm going to pick the helmet, okay? And that's what I'm going to focus on. I'm going to get the helmet done all the way through to completion, painted up and everything before I start on the next piece. Now what this does is, instead of trying to do like build a helmet and then start building a chest plate, and then part way through you're going to start building this pauldron, and then you start onto this, and you just kind of have 5 things trying to go at once. You're trying to juggle all those, and you just get overwhelmed, you get bogged down, and it's hard to find the motivation to keep going on it because it becomes overwhelming. If you zero in on that one thing, start with that, focus on that, figure out how you're going to do that. You have that success along the way where it's, oh man, this looks so great. I'm so excited to move on to the next piece, right? And so by doing that, you can kind of take it through that process, do it one piece at a time, and just like eating an elephant, right? One bite at a time. So one thing. Number 2, timelines. All right, I am definitely fallen victim to this multiple times. I tend to procrastinate till the last minute. Everybody's pretty familiar with the con crunch. Make sure, if you can, try to give yourself plenty of time. Start way in advance. That will allow you to be able to have plenty of time to go through, be able to take your time, take it easy on yourself. Starting early. Something that helps too is time blocking. Schedule out a specific set amount of time that you're going to work on that project, where you know you can get other stuff done and do everything, and then work on your project. And even set a timer for that time block, right? So if you're going to work on it for an hour and a half, set a timer for an hour and a half. And something about our brains and the way they work, as that time starts ticking down, you'll actually find that you're moving quicker on your project and actually getting more and more done. And I'm taking these kind of things from actual neuroscience and in business and different things like that as well that they talk about for being able to increase your productivity, but also to be able to avoid burnout just in your day-to-day work life as well. So time blocking, use some of those techniques. Start early, give yourself plenty of time. All right, number 3, recharge, okay? You can't, burnout happens a ton when you get exhausted. So make sure that you're taking breaks. Try to take a break of about 5 to 10 minutes every hour or so, just to kind of get up, go get a drink of water, just do something that could just kind of let your brain recover from the exertion that it's just done, because you are using mental capacity and everything like that. Give yourself a break where you're not no visual stimulation kind of thing, so you're not looking at your phone or doing different things. Just go for a little walk, take a drink, that kind of thing, and then come back and then start afresh, right? Biggest thing, get plenty of sleep with that recharge thing, okay? So I know it's so tempting. I do it, and I always pay for it when I do. Don't stay up super late trying to work on something. You're just going to kill yourself for the next day, and you're going to be pretty demotivated pretty quickly. Okay. Last 2. So those 3 are to help try to prevent burnout to begin with, avoid it to begin with. But if you're in the middle of it, one thing that I would recommend doing is number 4 here, which is remember the why. Start to just try to remind yourself, why did I start this cosplay to begin with? What was it that I was so passionate about? What was the excitement, the spark that gave me the idea to be able to do this? And just try to remember that why. When you can refocus in on that why of why you did it, or if it's a character that you just absolutely love, or there was something that you fell in love with it when you watched the show, watch the show again and recreate and try to get that spark back, or just remembering the why will sometimes be like, oh yeah, no, I really want to do this. I want to make this happen. I'm going to just sit down and dive in and do it. Okay, number 5, this last one, it's going to be a little bit unusual, but I think that it's a really powerful thing, right? So along with asking yourself why did you start, you can do a visualization, right? So you're sitting there, you're burnt out, you're like, oh man, I don't know if I even want to complete this. I have these other things that I think are cool now, and I maybe want to work on that kind of thing. What you can do is sit there and close your eyes, take some deep breaths, and visualize you in that costume completed at a con. Connect with the feeling of being there and in that costume. Think about, what is it that I am seeing? What is it that I am experiencing? Am I super excited? Do I feel powerful? Do I feel confident? Am I taking on the characteristics of that character? Imagine people coming up and telling you, oh, this looks so amazing, it's spot on, can I get a picture with you? Whatever it might be for you, just imagine that costume completed, you're wearing it, you're walking around at a convention, and you're just having a blast with it. And then when you do that and you zero in on that emotion of it being completed, you can use that to then drive you to be able to continue to work on it, take that next step, and just go one step at a time, continue to work on it. So hopefully this was helpful for you guys. I know cosplay burnout's a real thing. It's easy to get burnout on something, especially if it takes too long or you don't have those wins in between. So hopefully these tips can help you avoid it to begin with, but if not, be able to kind of get out of it, refine your motivation, and keep going. If you found this helpful, share it with a friend, give this video a like. If not, feel free to give it a dislike too. That's fine, whatevs. But with that, thank you guys so much. Let us know, what is your greatest challenge when it comes to cosplaying? What are the things that you run into, the problems that you have, whether it be with materials or whatever it might be? Let us know and we can answer your question in a future video. Thank you guys so much, and cosplay on, my friends. See ya.